Hi, Dr. Curtis here. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about some of the stretches that you can do to help with low back problems. What happens is, as people lose that normal posture, this area in the back becomes tight, this area in the front becomes weak. What we want to do is we want to be able to stretch the backside here, because when you get into this type of posture position, it closes down on the backside of those discs and onto the backside of the vertebrae. The joints on the backside of those two vertebrae are called the facet joints. And as those close down, those are the two primary areas that people have problems with when they do have low back pain. So what we want to do is we want to be able to stretch this side out. Today I'm going to show you a couple of different stretches that you can do to affect that area. The first thing that I want to start out with is what I call a general glute stretch. So from a seated position, what you have to do is you bring one foot up over the top like this. What you're trying to do is bring this knee to the opposite shoulder. So what I'll do is I'll grab that knee with my opposite arm, and then I'll pull this into my chest. Now as I do this, what you should feel is a stretch into the glute area. Sometimes people can get a little bit of a pinching in the hip. You got to be a little bit aware of that. If that happens, try and back off and try it again. If it continues to happen, it's indicating you might have a little bit of a hip problem, which needs to be checked out. But what you're trying to accomplish here is pulling this knee into your chest toward the opposite shoulder. Now as I do that, I feel a good stretch into this area, and that's where you should feel it. I'll grab my elbow. Not everybody is as flexible, so you may not be able to do it in this position, but find the best position you can where you can really pull it into your chest, leaning back a bit, and you feel a good stretch into the glute. Okay? Now, the next stretch that I want to show you is really to target those deep glute muscles. One of them is the piriformis, which is very common when people have sciatica, getting pressure on that sciatic nerve. A couple of ways that you can stretch that. One is to sit in this fashion. It's kind of like a man might sit at a table or something like that, with the foot right over the opposite knee, letting the knee drop down as much as you can. And then what you're going to do is actually bring your chest toward your shin. Now as I do this, I feel a really good stretch into my deep glute and around that piriformis area. I also feel it on the outside of my hip, and that's normal as well. Now for me personally, I like to do this one on my back because it doesn't compromise my back, but also for me, I get a better stretch. So I'll actually roll onto my back, and then from here I'll pull this straight into my chest, and I feel a much deeper stretch into my glute when I do it in that fashion. And of course we're going to stretch twice on each side. We're going to hold these stretches for 15 seconds at a time.